Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and give you the concentrated knowledge you actually need.
And today, we've got something pretty massive on the table.
Yeah, huge. OpenAI just dropped Sora 2, and it feels like, well, more than just an update. It's a real category shift, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. The buzzwords flying around are things like the GPT 3.5 moment for AI video.
Yeah.
It's being framed as a quantum leap.
A quantum leap is right. I mean, Sam Altman himself basically called it the creative field's ChatGPT moment. He's talking about a Cambrian explosion in creativity.
Yeah, predicting a huge jump in art, entertainment,
Yeah.
everything visual, really. That's a bold statement.
It is. But to get why it might not just be, marketing spin, and we need context, right? The original Sora came out, when was it? February 2024.
That's right. And that was more like the GPT-1 moment for video. It showed, okay, this is possible. It works.
But it had issues.
Exactly. So Sora 2 is the one that tackled the really fundamental problems. It's moving from just, can we make a video, to can we make a believable video? That's the GPT 3.5 parallel. From feasible to, well, actually useful on a massive scale.
Okay, let's dig into that. The biggest hurdle, the thing that always made AI video feel a bit off, was this concept people called dream logic. What was that exactly?
Right, dream logic.
Yeah.
It's when the AI generates something based purely on the prompt, but without any real grasp of how the world works.
Like things just happening.
Yeah, characters teleporting randomly, objects phasing through each other, lighting changing completely between cuts for no reason. The AI was rendering pixels, but it wasn't simulating a consistent reality.
The fakeness was always there, just under the surface.
Pretty hard to hide, yeah, especially with motion.
So the big breakthrough with Sora 2, according to the sources, is that it finally starts to respect physics. Things like inertia, force, how materials behave.
That's the core of it. It introduces consequence. Think about the classic AI video example, someone shooting a basketball.
Right. In older models, the ball would just sort of float into the hoop if the prompt said, make a basket.
Exactly. Goal fulfillment, like you said earlier, not simulation. Didn't care how it got there.
So how does Sora 2 handle that?
Well, now the ball might actually hit the backboard and, bounce off.
Right.
Or miss completely. It can show the effort, the attempt, maybe even the failure.
Failure, attempt, struggle. Now, that sounds more like actual storytelling.
That's the key. That's the link to Altman's Cambrian explosion. It's not just making moving pictures anymore. It's starting to enable narrative because it understands basic cause and effect.
That ability to show struggle.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I also saw something about this really weird stress test, the AI gymnastics Turing test. What on earth is that?
Yeah, it sounds bizarre, but it's apparently a really clever test of physics and how the AI handles interacting objects in 3D space.
So what's the prompt?
Get this. Generate a figure skater doing a triple axel with a cat balanced on her head.
A cat on her head during a triple axel. That's impossible.
Physically impossible. In reality, yes. But the AI has to make it look plausible within its simulation. It needs to handle the skater's rotation, the torque, and the physics acting on the cat. Gravity, balance, inertia, keeping it somewhat realistically on her head, not just glued there or falling through.
So the fact that it can do that, even if it's absurd, shows a much deeper understanding of 3D space and object interaction.
Exponentially deeper, yeah. The sources also mention another one, a man riding a horse, which is riding another horse. Completely illogical.
But Sora 2 makes it look physically consistent somehow.
It tries to execute it plausibly, respecting some kind of internal physical logic, even if the premise is nuts. It forces plausibility onto the illogical.
Okay, so physics within the scene is better. What about consistency between scenes? That was always another big failure point, right? The world state kept resetting.
Huge improvement there, too.
Yeah.
Sora 2 is much better at maintaining that world state across cuts, meaning if your character walks from, say, a dark kitchen out onto a sunny balcony, the lighting changes correctly on them, their clothes stay the same, even details like if they spilled water on their shirt in the kitchen, that wet patch is still there on the balcony shot.
Okay, that's significant. It means you can actually direct it more like a real shoot.
Exactly. You can specify different shots, camera angles, the rhythm of cuts maybe you want, like cinematic, early medieval style, Vikings going to war, and the environment, the characters, they stay consistent.
Wow. And there's one more piece they apparently cracked. The audio. That was always a massive post-production headache.
The final bottleneck, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd get this amazing visual that spent ages syncing dialogue, adding footsteps, environmental sounds.
And Sora 2.
It achieves what they're calling state-of-the-art audio-visual synchronization. Lip sync is reportedly tight with dialogue. Environmental sounds, action sounds, they change dynamically with the scene.
So the output is closer to being finished,
Mhm.
ready to use.
Much closer. It dramatically reduces that gap between generating the clip and having a final product. That's huge for workflow.
Okay, this is all incredibly impressive just as a professional tool, but the real GPT 3.5 moment maybe comes from the consumer side, right? The new Sora app and this Cameo feature.
Ah, yes, Cameo. This is where it potentially transforms short video as we know it. It's not just about watching, it's about participating.
So the app itself, iOS first, Android via the web later, is the delivery mechanism.
Right. And the star feature is Cameo. It sounds like science fiction, honestly.
Explain how it works. How do you get into the video?
It's actually pretty straightforward. Conceptually, you record a short video of yourself, maybe just a few seconds, with sound. Then there's an identity verification step.
So safety, presumably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you're verified, the system captures your likeness, your voice, and then it can accurately throw you into, as they say, pretty much any scene Sora 2 generates.
Wait, so I could literally prompt me having superpowers flying over the Grand Canyon at sunset, and the video would show me doing it.
That's the idea. You become the instant star of your own AI-generated short film.
Put myself at a party on Mars, playing chess with Einstein.
Or, yeah, playing ping pong with a talking panda, rescuing a kitten as an anime hero. Whatever you can imagine, starring you.
Okay, hold on. If everyone starts using Cameo to put themselves in these wild, shareable scenarios,
Yeah.
what does that do to social media? It's a fundamental shift, isn't it?
It really could be. It moves the needle from passive consumption, just scrolling endless feeds, towards active creation and potentially connection.
Connection. How so?
Well, the sources mentioned beta testers actually using Cameo creations as icebreakers, finding people who made similarly niche or weird things. Hey, you also put yourself in a giant teacup fighting a rubber duck. Cool. It becomes about shared imagination, starring yourselves.
From voyeurism to participation. It's a fascinating angle. So access, can everyone jump in right now?
Not quite yet. It's starting invite only, rolling out in the US and Canada first. And the really high-end pro features, those are tied to a ChatGPT Pro subscription.
Makes sense.
But interestingly, the platform logic itself seems different. It apparently prioritizes recommending videos that have high secondary creation value.
Meaning, videos that are easy for others to remix or respond to with their own cameos.
Exactly. Less focus on just passive scrolling, more on encouraging interaction and iteration. They want you to play.
Okay, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? We're talking super realistic physics. Plus, putting real people's verified likenesses into generated scenes via Cameo, the potential for misuse must be enormous.
Off the charts. OpenAI seems very aware of this, though. The safety architecture they've described is, well, it's extensive, not just lip service.
They're calling it a safety net. What does that involve? Tell us about the layers.
It's a multi-stage process. First, they filter the text prompts you enter. Then any source material you upload, like your Cameo video, gets audited. And finally, the output video itself undergoes analysis, frame-by-frame checks, audio transcription, specifically scanning for policy violations, especially anything involving minors or other highly sensitive areas. Interception happens at every stage.
That sounds thorough. What about protecting people's image rights, especially with Cameo? Can I make a video of my neighbor without permission?
Definitely not. The rules are apparently very strict. You need verified authorization from someone to use their likeness. And if you've verified your own likeness for Cameo, you get tools to track where it's used and even revoke permission later.
And public figures. Can I make a video of, say, a politician?
Nope. Generating specific public figures is prohibited at launch. They're clearly trying to avoid the immediate deepfake risks around elections and misinformation.
Smart move. What about traceability? If a video gets downloaded and shared, how do we know it came from Sora?
Two things there. All downloaded videos will have a dynamic watermark, plus industry standard metadata embedded, like C2PA. And crucially, OpenAI says they've also developed internal tools specifically to detect Sora-generated content out in the wild.
Essential for platforms trying to moderate this stuff. And they did red team testing, too.
Extensive red teaming, yeah.
Yeah.
They threw everything at it, prompts designed to generate violence, hate speech, self-harm, adult content, political misinformation, and they're reporting high interception rates, mostly in the 95–99% range for the core harmful categories during testing.
So they seem to be taking the safety aspect very seriously, which is good to hear.
It seems non-negotiable for a launch like this.
All right, let's pull back for a second. Beyond the cool features, the app, the safety,
Right.
What's the bigger picture here for OpenAI? What's the ultimate destination for Sora?
The sources state pretty clearly that Sora 2 isn't the end goal. It's a step towards creating a true, high-fidelity world simulator.
A world simulator.
Yeah. Moving beyond just does it look right to is it logically consistent? Does it behave according to physical principles? And the path forward seems to be feeding it even more, even higher quality video data to just keep refining that simulation.
And the applications of a true world simulator.
Yeah.
They go way beyond just making funny videos, obviously.
Oh, massively. Film and advertising, for starters. Imagine generating complex, consistent animated storyboards or pre-visualizations almost instantly.
Education, training.
Huge potential there. Visualizing complex processes, product demos, but maybe the most profound implication, using these simulations to train future AI robots.
How so?
Letting robots practice skills in these perfectly safe, perfectly simulated, yet completely synthetic environments before they ever try them in the real world. Learning by doing, but in simulation first.
That really is profound. We should probably also give a nod to the person reportedly leading this charge, Bill Peebles.
Yeah, Bill Peebles, head of Sora, quite the background, post-95's generation, MIT Berkeley PhD in CS, internships at NVIDIA, Adobe, Meta.
And his main achievement listed in the documentation.
Simply, created Sora.
Talk about a mic drop on your resume. Okay, let's try and boil this down for everyone listening. What are the two absolute key takeaways from this Sora 2 launch?
Okay, first, the core video quality itself is fundamentally upgraded. We're talking better physics, real consistency across scenes, and that crucial audio sync making things usable much faster. It allows for believable storytelling in a way previous models just couldn't manage.
Believable storytelling, got it. And second?
Second has to be the cameo feature and the app. It represents a potential shift in how we interact with content, moving you, the user, from just watching to actively participating and putting your verified self right into the creation.
You're not just the audience anymore. You can be the star.
The player, not just the spectator.
Yeah.
Exactly. The creative possibilities just exploded.
Which leads us nicely to our final thought for you, the listener. Now that you theoretically can drop your verified self, your voice, into almost any scene imaginable, what's the first impossible specific 30-second video you would create?
Would you team up with your favorite celebrity to fight off space invaders? Maybe explore the deep sea with your cat who can suddenly talk? Or just become the main character in your own personal anime opening sequence?
The tech barrier is falling. Now, the only real limit is your imagination. Think about it. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.